Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today I would like to highlight a pretty exciting milestone regarding the Gen 12 renderer and performance improvements for 317. As always, a huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members, in particular to Jinx for rejoining as a channel member. Thank you so much for the support, it is truly appreciated. So the other day, a developer posted on Spectrum the progress that they have been making with the Gen 12 renderer conversion and how it relates to Alpha 317. Many people currently playing 317 on the PTU have been reporting performance increases, and it turns out that there are a few reasons for this, like some major improvements in the Entity Component Update Scheduler, or ECUS, zone host updates, and more, that have improved the main thread performance greatly thanks to a developer called Christopher Bolt who has made these breakthroughs. They have also reached their first big milestone regarding Gen 12 in 317, with now all of the opaque static geometry, so brushes and all objects scattered on planets and asteroids, now running through Gen 12, which they say doubles the render thread performance. Now, although this doesn't mean more FPS, it does mean that they will no longer be limited by the render thread ever again, which means every single performance improvements on the main thread will be seen directly in FPS as long as you are not GPU bound, which is also something that many have already been noticing in 317. They also provided a few more Gen 12 updates of what they have done so far and what remains. So internally, all render proxies, so ships, characters and planets, are already going through the Gen 12 pipeline, but only on the internal build, as they didn't make it in for 317. So these will be ready for the next big patch, they say, and I'm assuming by big patch, they mean something like 318 rather than a 317.x patch, but I don't know for certain. It also says, we've heard a lot of ships on screen tend to be very heavy on the render thread, so ship meetups and the like might get big benefits, and they would appreciate it if people tried to test this out. So actively calling for players to gather loads of ships together to see how performance is. So very happy that they are bringing benefits like this, because for a game like Star Citizen, we need to be able to gather. So if you fancy it, do grab your friends and give it a bit of a stress test. They're also about to turn on Gen 12 for cube map and render to textures, which lets them kill a lot of the legacy code. Whether they're turning this on for 317 or a patch later on, I don't know. But also major work on the transparent geometry has started, and this, they say, is the last big milestone that they have to finish. There are some things that still need to be ported, like the planetary atmosphere passes, GPU skinning and gas cloud rendering, which they say will be started soon. So a lot of Gen 12 progress there, getting closer to what they classed as Milestone 1, which we heard about during a CitizenCon video, in which everything is using Gen 12, nothing is legacy anymore, but it's still using DirectX 11. Lastly, CIG say that Gen 12 is looking really promising right now, render thread performance is more than twice as good, and they're almost done with everything as explained in the post that I will link below in the description. They also said that after Gen 12 there is still a ton of other improvements planned, which will give us even more performance, and of course Vulkan, which they don't address here, but due to the mixture of legacy and Gen 12, they say the engine right now has to go through both rendering codes, which does actually decrease the main thread performance slightly, but once this transparent geometry is ported, they no longer have to do this, and that's when we will see the full potential of Gen 12. So pretty massive news there, as if 317 isn't already shaping up to be quite a major patch with the entity graph work, the first steps of quantum simulation, and so much more happening, even on just the back end alone, getting more ported to Gen 12, as well as more impressive performance improvements from Christopher Bolt. 317 is even more of a beast, which will set the stage nicely for the rest of the year. I'm also expecting that with each patch, we will see more Gen 12 progress like we have seen since it begun, so I think it was 314 or 315 when they first converted some code to use Gen 12. It is looking very promising this year to get to Milestone 1, which, as I say, is everything running on Gen 12, but still using the DirectX 11 API before they do more work to switch over to Vulkan. But amazing progress there, And with that said, I just wanted to update people on how it's going with Gen 12, as I feel a lot of people are really interested in hearing about the progress here because it directly influences performance in game. But that is the end of the video. If you do enjoy my videos, please do consider subscribing and helping the channel to grow. It is much appreciated. And if you want to hang out and chat more about Star Citizen in general, or ask your questions about the game, do head over to twitch.tv/supermacbrother. You are all more than welcome. Hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, does the channel a big favour, and tick that notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. Again, huge thank you to my patrons and channel members. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.